Hello, folks. Michael here. I know it's been a while since I last recorded a video. I've been going through a lot of things. I've been struggling with finding a job for like 3 years. The last job I had was at a Dollar Tree, and they hired some temps and took away my hours to the point where I wasn't working at all for like a good amount of weeks, almost a month, to the point where I just didn't bother coming in anymore because they didn't give me any hours. So, yeah, and that was like in 2013, and uh, also struggling with uh, medical issues, stomach problems, problems with my feet. Um, I've been having some weight gain from my medication. So, um, also going through some legal stuff. Somebody attacked me and punched me in the head, so I'm working on something to deal with that situation. Uh, I'm also working on uh, some legal action against a school that I went to that didn't work out, and they didn't help me. Um, and they're expecting me to pay, ridiculous amount of money uh, for like no education. So, yeah. Um, let's see. I've also been having some issues with my computer. Um, I've been running low on hard drive space. I got a lot of pictures and videos and so on, and games and all that. Um, so I'm trying to see if I could get at least a new hard drive for now until I'm able to afford to buy a new computer. I am planning on doing more Let's Plays. I want to do some PC games, more specifically adventure games. I'm working on a intro to that series. It's going to be a separate series. So hopefully that'll be out soon. I also am planning on eventually finishing Conquer and Tron Bonne. Conquer would be easier, only because I know I can resume for where I left off. Tron Bonne, I'm not sure because I'd have to find the memory card. I have a lot of memory cards, so I have to figure out which one I left off on, because I was using two memory cards, just so I make sure that I save my progress before recording and after, just in case I mess something up. I was also doing that when I was living in the attic, and it was really, really hot. It was like 120 degrees up there. Now I'm living in another section of the house that's downstairs and much cooler. So, yeah. So that's the update for my eventual Let's Plays. I also have a couple of other plans for some Let's Plays. I do want to do some more Halloween ones. I was kind of hoping that my Splatterhouse one would have, gotten more views than it had. Because I did put a lot of effort into it, but whatever. I've been struggling with depression, just in general, everyday life. I've been trying to move out of my parents' house so that I could, have my own place for several reasons. I guess I could end at a final note, and one of the main key reasons why I'm doing this video, other than giving you an update on the stuff that I addressed earlier, is I've been struggling with my brother, my youngest brother, who has been stealing things. And when I say youngest brother, he is the youngest of my three brothers, but he is an adult. Anyway, so yes, he has been stealing things from me for a long time. I don't know his motivation. He has stolen games, he's stolen DVDs, he's even stolen just stuff that belongs to me that really doesn't have any value to him. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I have like a Sports Illustrated calendar thing that somebody bought me for my birthday, and he took that, and just little things like that that really don't have any value to him, but he takes. Like a few years ago, I did go to the police when one day a friend of his came over to the house and told me he had something for me, and said that I could come with him to his house to pick it up. So I went to his house, and he gave me a charging tray for my 3DS. And as soon as I returned home, I looked through my drawers where I keep my Nintendo, Super Nintendo games, and several of them were missing. Actually, not just missing, but other games were put there in the place of the missing games so that it looks like it was full, but including doubles of games. Like crappy games, sports games, whatever, nothing that would be of huge value. And a lot of the games that were missing were ones like, for instance, Castlevania Dracula X, which is like online is like a $200 game. I managed to replace that one. A friend of mine managed to get a copy of that game, and after me trading several movies to her for it, she was nice enough to let me have it. So I'm glad I replaced that. But I had other Super Nintendo games and Nintendo games that were missing. Now, I went to the police with a friend to see if we could resolve this. Now, I have no physical evidence that he took the stuff, but I do know he did it. And I went to the police and, gave him a report and gave him a list of the games. The prices were varied. I had to price them from like eBay or Amazon or whatever. And basically, the cop that I talked to said that my games were worth nothing, and that if I took it to court, they'd laugh me out of the court. So pretty much they weren't taking it seriously, because they were games from the 80s or 90s, so they had no value. And they were valuing them according to GameStop, because GameStop doesn't sell games that old. Had they contacted like a retro gaming facility, that they would have been professional enough to value the games So yeah. So I also found out that the reason why he claimed he took the games when he was questioned was because there was a day he tends to get on my nerves and push my buttons. And one day I got really upset and he just kept on flapping his gums and opening his mouth where I couldn't take it anymore. And I snapped and I ran downstairs and I just wailed on his arm and made it all black and blue. And, I didn't want to hurt him really, but I just like blacked out. He just provokes me. And he's been doing this for years. And I don't know why. I don't know the reason. Anyway, so what I was told by the police is he told him that the reason why he took my games is because I punched him, which makes no sense. And he never told me about it. So I didn't find out until like 3 or 4 years later. And the games that were missing when I left the house that one day to get that 3DS tray, they were in my drawer at the time. So the games that he took were games that were not part of the ones. He was basically saying that all the games that were taken when I claimed that the Dracula X was missing, that was part of it. And it's not true. So he took Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games in the past, and then he did it second time after I left the house that one day. So, yeah. And I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. I've tried talking to him. I did get some of my games back, but unfortunately it was at the expense of my mental health, where I was so depressed and stuff that I ended up saying things like, maybe I should just kill myself or something like that. Saying it in jest. I mean, I wouldn't actually do it, but to the point where I was so upset, it was really impacting on me. And I guess that was enough for him to finally just give me my games back. I have talked to my dad and my mom. My mom, unfortunately, has extremely bad depression, and doesn't really seem to do anything for me or herself or anyone else. And my dad, although he tries, doesn't seem to do anything. I have been told and mentioned that he should be thrown out of the house because of how he's acting. He disrespects everybody in the house and doesn't contribute enough to even be allowed to stay. He just seems to be more of a nuisance. So anyway, I've tried the best I could. So I'm at a loss. If anybody has any constructive ideas of how I could resolve this situation, because I have tried to talk to him rationally, it just doesn't work. He has no respect for me. And, he's very manipulative and lies like it's a second language to him. So, he's even broken into my house. He has a lockpick kit. He's also even stolen my house key, and my dad actually caught him in a lie when he questioned the key on his dresser, and it turned out it was my key. Anyway, this video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna end it there. Thank you very much for listening, and any help would be appreciated because I'm at my wit's end. Thank you very much, folks, and I hope that I will be in a better state of mind next time I am ready to post another video. Thank you.